Heyo, Stoic here. Hey, welcome to the Bedrock Guide. In this tutorial, we're going to be making another gold farm, and we're going to be using those glorious minecarts that I love to use. So I got some inspiration for this farm from Slack Lizard, some platforms here using the eggs from sea turtles in order to aggro our zombified piglins into one location. They'll find that and then drop down into our conveyor belt right into our Trident killer right here. So we are utilizing the conveyor system again. I wanted to make this farm as an alternative for everyone if they can't use fire spread in their world and they still want to have a decent gold farm. So let's talk rates for this farm. So you're going to get from 0 to 30 in 10 minutes. And if you want to go a full hour, you'll get up to level 56. You'll pull in about 29 stacks of nuggets, 27 stacks of rotten flesh, and 1.5 stacks of gold ingots. You can combine all of those nuggets and get over 300 gold ingots. You're going to get plenty of golden swords as well, so you want to either smelt those down, get even more gold, or just pitch them into this lava. This farm is made for Bedrock, and Simulation 4 is what I use for this farm. Anything higher probably won't work. I'll leave a list of the materials in the description. Let's do it. To get started, we need to make our way into the nether, and we need to find the nether waste biome or a crimson forest biome, and we just happen to be right in the middle of both of them. And the ideal situation is that we're on top of a lava lake. This gives you less work as far as slabbing and spawn proofing the whole area for this farm. All right, come to the edge of your lava lake, and we're just gonna make our way out here. You can put your slabs in wherever you want. Slabs or glass will work perfectly. You want to try to get at least 45 blocks away from the the edge of this area. And yeah, we're pretty much right in the middle here. Cleared out a couple of things. The other nice thing is that if we're down here, we can go ahead and slab off some of these other areas just like this. I'm in creative. I get it. I get it. You don't need to watch me slab over there, but let's come out here right in the middle, and we're going to use this glass just to get out here to start, but also we can put in our storage system down below. So what we can do now is just kind of fill this in just like this, get a nice little platform going so we can work on it. Because this is glass, we're not going to have to worry about any of our monsters spawning out here. All right, with this platform in place, let's go ahead and slab up or get up to Y40. And this will allow us to have a good AFK position. We can also check this by using Foxy No Tail's armor stand. It's a resource pack from him. And it looks like I got to click through this now. You can, little showcase here. You can see all the different things you can use with that. But you can see anything that's within the green sphere will be a spot that mobs cannot spawn because they're too close to us. Outside of that, which is just over 24, 25 blocks, you'll find an area between the green and the red, and that is where mobs can spawn, even above, up there, even below. But since it's covered in lava, we don't have to worry about that. Now, anything else that's in this area, we're going to want to slab off. You can see I've got some things slabbed. If there's some stuff you just want to break that's floating around, go ahead and do that. But it looks like we got a good AFK position right here. So we're going to go ahead and grab another piece of glass, build it up by one more right in front of us. And now we're going to do like a 2x2 platform right here. The mobs will be falling more than 25 blocks to get to this location, and we don't want them to die because they fell. We want them to die because of our Trident killer. So we're going to use hay bales to cushion their fall to start, but then after that, we'll take care of them. But let's go ahead and put in some glass all the way around, just like this. Leave your AFK position open because that's where we're going to need to stand a little bit later. Grab your piston now, and you can start just to the left or to the right if you've decided to do it a little differently. But you can see we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And now we've got the start of our Trident killer. We can fill this in now. We can just put a little color in here. We can put in some warped wood, or any solid block will do just fine right there. And then we can grab a slab in this location. That way the XP can flow right out onto us when we're going AFK. The next thing we want to do is grab droppers and put them in each of the 4 corners. After that, grab your observer and let's put it on top of a solid block just like that. You want to make sure the red dot of this observer is pointing towards this piston. So we can go all the way around, Shift click, just put it all the way around just like that. And we can then grab another solid block. This one has to be solid. And we're pretty much done with this Trident killer. Now let's go ahead and test it. I want to throw in 2 Tridents just so there's more than one item in here moving around that can do some damage. So the next thing we can do is throw a lever right on that corner block. Energized. This thing is moving. We are successful. So let's move on to the next step. So you're probably thinking, how am I going to get down here? So you can put in your own little step system just to get up and around for this storage system, which is what we're going to be working on next. So we can break out that block that's underneath there. And what we'll do now is we'll put a little platform, which is 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks lower than the hay bales. From here, we're going to grab a chest and place it down just like this. Grab your 3 hoppers. 2 of them will go down into the top of the chest, and the third one will go into the side of one of the hoppers. We can come up one more time here. Grab your rails, 1, 2, 3. You'll see a curved one. Break the 2 that are not curved, and then we're going to drop in our minecart with hopper just like that. This position will be in a good spot, so when all the loot starts moving around in here, it'll all drop into this minecart with hopper. All right, I definitely recommend adding more storage to fit your needs, and yeah, you can just add a whole bunch of stuff, even a little dispenser to shoot your golden swords into the lava if you don't want to have them build up too much. But yeah, we're looking good. We got storage and a Trident killer, so let's get some mobs. All right, I'm going to make a little stair here just to get up here. We've got plenty of space to do all kinds of things. But we come up here and make our way to the top. Let's place in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. And we're going to go up a total of 3 blocks on all 4 sides. All right, here is going to be one of the important parts of this farm. We're out here in the middle of nowhere. We know we are going to get the spawns that we want, but we have to have the right orientation of these minecarts in order for them to work. So we need to know which way is north. To do that, we can simply look at our coordinates, and you can see that as I move in the negative Z direction, my number gets more and more negative, and that is north. That is going to be our north direction for this build, and so we can just keep that in our back pocket. We want to memorize that. I might actually put a little big old N over there. That way I can always just reference that direction and not look at my coordinates, but that's going to be very important to know which way is north, because our minecarts will need to go from south to north and then from west to east, and otherwise this minecart farm will not work for you. All right, before this next step, make sure you know which way is north. North is that way. South is the way we want to go now. So just above our AFK position, we want to place a target block. And then from here, we're going to go south even further with a total of 13 target blocks. On the last one, we're going to have a hay bale. So we're going to have 13 target blocks and then a hay bale. Come back to the Trident killer, and then we're going to place a target block right here on the west side of this Trident killer. Now we're going to go out 14 target blocks and then a hay bale. All right, looking good. This is the way we want to look. So make sure you recount all of your blocks just to make sure you have the right number. All right, let's come back to our Trident killer, and we're going to go in the south direction for this first one. So we're going to build this up a little bit. Make sure that's even. You're standing next to the target block, and we're just going to put out some glass blocks here. We're going to use these later on for our redstone. And now we are going to stop just short of the hay bale. And we're going to start putting in temporary blocks just like this. We need to get the orientation of the rails in first before we do anything else. So go ahead and place powered rails in just like this. This is for the north-south direction. And you can see that this is so goofy that it's going to mess up each time. So go ahead and do 1, 2, 1, 2, just like this. That way it holds the orientation that we want. If the rails themselves were going north-south, then our minecarts would move around, and we just don't want that. So now you can see when we start breaking the ones that are over top of the glass ones, the orientation will stay for the ones on top of the target blocks, and that's exactly what we want. I'm going to go ahead and put in another layer of glass just like that, and we're going to build this up on this side of the activator rails. So we're going to trap our rails in place. You can come out, build it up on this side. And what we can do now is break the glass that was right next to the hay bale, grab our lever, and turn this one on. Once you've got that on, we can break this glass and make our way back down to the first set we put down. And I'm going to put that in just like this. With that in mind, we want to make our way back down to where our AFK position is. We're actually going to switch this up a little bit on our lever here. We want to go a little catty corner to our dropper, just like this. So get rid of any solid blocks. We want to grab our lever and put it right there on the side. You can flick it down if you want to turn off your Trident killer for right now. Grab a redstone torch and put it on the side. You'll see that it turns off. You can jump up here and we're going to place a solid block on top of that torch. Place another torch block or torch on top of that block. And you might want to make your way back up top here. Place another solid block right there. And when we place this torch, it should turn off. That means when we've got the lever in the on energized position, it actually turns off the Trident killer. And if it's in the energized position, it will then stop power from getting to our rails. So we can go ahead and on this side, we can just put in dust all the way across here. You can see that this is not going to work. So we're going to bridge out, and that is something I missed. Let's go ahead and put it on this side of our hay bale, because with the lever right here, it energizes that redstone, and we don't want that. So with this redstone in place now, we can bring our glass all the way across here. And this will help trap our minecarts and keep them where we want them to be. So as a test, we can go ahead and put in all of our minecarts. There's a lot of comments from all of you. Definitely read all the comments. And one of the comments was, we got to be able to turn these things off. Unfortunately, we're going to keep this one on only because of that hay bale. It's such a pain. But what we're going to want to do is come back down here and let's test it. Let's go ahead and hit the switch at our AFK position. All of our minecarts are jumping and our Trident killer is moving. So this one is looking good. All right, now the west-east direction is a little bit different. So we're going to put in we're going to put in some glass right here because we're going to extend this signal over eventually. But to get started, we're going to go ahead and throw this lever on the end of this hay bale because we know we're going to need it a little bit later. But I'm going to go ahead and throw in some temporary blocks, and we're going to do it every other one because we're working in the north-south, or the west-east direction. The rails behave a little bit differently. So now we can grab our rails, and we can put in 1, 2, 3, just like this all the way down. Once you've made it to the end, you want to go ahead and place it on top of the target block that's in between them. This maintains the orientation that we want. So now we can get rid of the temporary blocks and the rails on top of them all the way down. All right, what we can do now is come back to their Trident killer. We're going to nice even platform up here, and we're going to need to trap our minecarts on the back side. Come over and place one over here as well. And now we want to make sure that we've got our redstone energized. And the best way to do this is to just go ahead and turn this on. And we're going to see how far this extends. And I believe it stops short of what we needed to do. So when you get to this spot, you can come right here and grab yourself a redstone repeater. We're going to bump this out 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab another redstone block or repeater right there. And we're just going to extend this over. And it will now reach all of our target blocks. With that, we can now fill this in all the way across, grab our minecarts, and every one of these should be moving. Oops. All right, all of our minecarts are moving. Let's turn this off. We don't need to listen to all that. We're going to come over here. I'm going to put in solid blocks just so you can see it a little bit better, but then I'll change it over a little bit later because I just don't want the things to spawn when we're working. So we're going to put in some new blocks right here. We're going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4. So a total of 5 on each side. And this really should be glass. I'm just doing solid blocks so you can see it a little bit better. And then we can come up across, and we're going to have a tower right here. So right now we have gone up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. We're going to go up a total of 16. Just to help with the visualization, I'll keep the solid blocks here, but I will slab these off just so that we can see that we're spawn proofing this lower area. We just don't want that gas to show up. The reason why we extend this out is because when we do turn the farm off, mobsters will fall down and get kicked over a little bit. And they will pile up a little bit as well. And they can accumulate in the Trident killer when things are off, or in that position over there. So when that happens, sometimes they might not get attached to a cart and they might get up and walk around. And that's just not good for our farm. So what we're going to do now is the same thing on that side. All right, we've got 1, 2 towers in place. We're going to work on this last one right here. You can see I built it up just a little bit on each side just to show you how we're going to fill this in. So take these blocks up a total of 16 so they'll be even with our other 2 towers. All right, everything's even. We went up 16 blocks, as we discussed. Now the next part is to get our circular pads of magma blocks on here. So yeah, I definitely recommend having some Frostwalker boots so that way you don't have to worry about getting damaged. So you can see I'll throw that on there, and I'll switch over to survival. You can see I'm standing on this block, taking some damage, putting it back on. If you get a whole bunch of fire resistance potions, use those. Otherwise, get some Frostwalkers. All right, so we're going to mark off our first position. It's going to be right here in this corner. So we're facing our blue tower to the south, and it's going to be that spot right there. So what we're going to want to do now is from this position, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to have a little pattern. So this is the very edge of our area. And so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go 1, 2. So you got 1, 2 gap. And now we're going to go back and forth. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to go 1, 2, pop out here, 1, 2, 3. And that should put us pretty much even with this center block. I'll go ahead and put some contrasting blocks in place so you can get a better view of what's happening. All right, hopefully you can see this, and you can see that on the very edge here, we've got 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, and then our other side. So we should be 7 blocks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to continue this all the way around, but instead of using the concrete blocks, we're going to use our magma blocks. All right, here's a good look, and everything's filled in, and you can see I've kept this outline just so you can keep an eye on it, but these would actually need to be magma blocks. We'll fill them in right now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right there in the middle. And the reason why we're doing this is because it will be one of the best spots for our zombified friends to come looking for this egg, and they'll approach the egg no matter where they're at on this platform and find it and want to crush it. So let's go ahead and stand on our glass block, find our south tower over there, and we're going to break out the 2 blocks to the north, just like this. We're going to place in our egg, grab your glass, and we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks around it. Grab a slab, half slab right on top of that glass. Now it's time to break out this glass right here. Make your way into the middle, grab a trap door, and place it so it's far away from your egg. Come back out here, just be careful, don't fall in. Place some fence posts on either side here, and then we'll put in our door. All right, our setup should be looking like this, and if we place a zombie right here, it's going to try to make its way to the egg. Yep, it's going to fall right into our trap, and if we put it at the furthest spot, it's going to see it right there. We can put it behind it too, and it'll recognize that it's there and try to get to it. So any of these far enough points, it will make its way over there into our trap. All right, so we've got one of our many platforms done. We're going to come towards our south tower, and we're going to make the same orientation here. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, and we're going to build this out just like we did before. All right, we've got this next one filled in, and you can see it's the same shape as before. However, the hole is going to be a little off center, and that's okay because our egg is going to be right here, which gives us the maximum amount of aggroing for these zombies. So let's go ahead and break these two and place down 2 glass blocks just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can come back in here, place our trap door, come back out, get our egg, place it in the center there, grab our slab just like this, and we're going to place our door right there. So nothing can spawn inside because there's glass, and nothing can get in because they can't jump over. They'll fall right inside. Don't forget our fence posts, and this one's ready. Okay, we're going to come over to our west tower, and you can see we're a little offset, but that's all right. Once again, because we can change the orientation of our doors. So what we're going to do is go ahead and make this same platform right over here. And all right, this platform is in place. Oh, we got a buddy over there. It's already working all the way down. We got a little bit of a backup here, but that's all right. That's why we put those walls in. That way they get forced into the next one down the row. So what we can do from here is, what we're going to do is make sure that the door is facing north this time. And so we can break out those 2 blocks, put that in, surround our area, go ahead and throw your egg in there. Once again, slabs all the way around, fence posts. Got to make sure we get our trap door in place. Wiggle back out and then put in our door. All right, you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3 platforms. We want a total of 15. So in order to do that, we're going to pull this up 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one will be the start of our new platform. So we're going to replicate this 4 more times. All right, we've got 15 platforms in place. Before we turn this thing on, I went ahead and put this in glass just so we could see things a little bit easier. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some buttons. And buttons are a key thing here. We want to make sure we're using our buttons. Place them right here and right here. And then we're going to come over to this side and place them there and there. This tells the minecart that there is something to land on. And so it will actually throw the zombified piglin out of the minecart. And without it, the zombies will go back and forth just like in these 2 spots or those 2 spots. And they'll never really make their way out, or they'll clog up, and that's just not going to work for us. So we went ahead and did that. Also, I missed this. Go ahead and throw some slabs or glass on top of these droppers out here. And this block right here also needs to have something on top of it. You could spawn a ghast and you're not going to be too happy. So everything else is looking good. What we can do now is we've got some friends in here already. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. And you can see they're being thrown right into our mess, getting killed. And if we zoom out here, I like watching this because for some reason, and I don't know why, but the game likes to pick a spot, and every vertical spot in that Y position gets a zombified piglin. You can see that you can get a couple of them. They're just doing the same dance on the same platforms there. And you'll get a couple of them going all the way through. Now, there could be up to 5 doing the same route if the spawn cap has not been met. So you can see got a couple of them right now. Everyone's working the way they're supposed to, but it's pretty neat the way all of this works. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining me on the Bedrock Guide. Hope you enjoy this tutorial in the Nether. If you want, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. Bye-bye.